Hey there everybody, it's Jason the Cartoon Fan, and in this video I'm going to be doing another exciting DVD unboxing and review. For this video, I'm going to be showing you all the Rugrats Trilogy Movie Collection, featuring the original Rugrats movie from 1998, Rugrats in Paris, the movie, and Rugrats Go Wild, which is the crossover between Rugrats and the Wild Thornberrys. Rugrats is one of my all-time favorite Nicktoons, and definitely my favorite 90s Nicktoon. Unless you count SpongeBob, which I personally don't since it premiered in 1999, so it's more of an early 2000 show than it is a 90s show. But anyways, I'm definitely happy to have found this collection. I know that a lot of people criticize the first two Rugrats movies for putting the series into seasonal rot, but I honestly don't think that Rugrats' seasonal rot is really that big of a seasonal rot. I mean, yeah, the show became more juvenile in nature, but the seasonal rot isn't as bad as, let's say, for shows like SpongeBob during season 6, 7, and 8, The Simpsons during its later seasons, especially the HD era of that show, and especially the newer seasons of Family Guy. So, I think that Rugrats, while it definitely did decline in quality, I don't think that that decline in quality is big enough to say that it jumped the shark or something like that. So, this collection consists of the original DVD releases, which are the only DVD releases for the three Rugrats movies. The original Rugrats movie was released on DVD in early 1999, only a few months after the movie was released in theaters, and was also when Paramount was just beginning to release their movies on DVD. This makes the Rugrats movie the very first Nickelodeon production ever to have ever been released on DVD. And Rugrats, the show, was actually the first Nicktoon to ever be released on DVD, with, of course, the 2001 Decade in Diapers collection. So that's some interesting history right there. And of course, Rugrats in Paris and Rugrats Go Wild both came out on DVD not too long after their theatrical releases. Rugrats in Paris came out on DVD in early 2001, a couple of months after the movie was released in theaters in late 2000, and Rugrats Go Wild was released on DVD in 2003, just like with the previous two movies, just a few months after it came out in theaters. So, after those three movies were released on DVD individually, years after that, in fact, we got this collection featuring all three of them together in one convenient package. This is actually a reissue of the Trilogy Collection. It was originally released on March 15th of 2011 in a box set in which each disc had their own individual case inside a thick cardboard box. So Nickelodeon basically took the original DVD releases and put them together in one slipcase. But in 2017, the collection was re-released inside a standard-sized DVD case, and today I purchased the collection at Walmart. So, I've been actually wanting to get the standard-sized DVD case re-release of this set for a while now, but I was a little hesitant to purchase it at first, and the reason why was because when this DVD first came out, like the standard-sized reissue of it, it wasn't in the most ideal package. The original copies of the standard-sized DVD case re-release of the Rugrats Trilogy Movie Collection was a case in which the 3 movies as individual discs were all stacked on top of each other on a single holder. But then, a couple of years later in 2019, I started seeing copies of this DVD set that were in a standard DVD case with a flipper. I thought that was super cool, but I was still a little hesitant because it was in an EcoBox case. It was one of in those EcoBox cases where it was definitely more flimsy than a normal DVD case, but I felt it and it didn't feel like super flimsy. So I don't know for sure, but I'm pretty sure it was in one of those EcoBox cases where it showed the symbol, but they didn't cut open the case. So, yeah. But when I went to Walmart today, I found a copy of this DVD set that was in a very ideal package. You can hear that there's a flipper in here, and the case feels very thick. So I believe that this copy is not in an EcoBox case. So that's good. So now that I've talked about the history of these movies coming out on DVD, let's take a look at the package. You've already gotten a good look at the front, but I might as well just describe it anyway, since that's what I usually do in my DVD unboxing videos. So the top has Tommy, Chucky, and Angelica. Tommy looks super happy, but Chucky and Angelica are both worried about something. Angelica's screaming and Chucky's looking nervous. Then again, he almost always looks nervous because that's his character trait. Right below them is the old school Nickelodeon logo inside an airplane. And then right below that is the Rugrats logo, and it says the Trilogy Movie Collection. I find it interesting that this DVD release has the old school Nickelodeon logo on the package. When this DVD first came out in 2011, 2 years after Nickelodeon changed its logo to the current one, which is featured on the spine. More on that in a bit. And this copy, like this release of the set, was in 2017, which is like 8 years after Nickelodeon changed its logo. So it's interesting seeing a new DVD release of Nickelodeon with the old logo. That's kind of cool. Alright, right below that, we see some images of Phil, Lil, Kimmy, Dill, Susie, and Spike. It looks like that these images come from different sources and they just photoshopped and mixed them together on the package. Because you can see that Phil, Lil, Kimmy, and Dill have no shading on their artwork, but Susie and Spike do. So, yeah. I don't know why Susie is spilling a glass of lemonade either. You could probably tell already. It seems like this is just a bunch of stock images that they lazily stitch together. It doesn't look bad, but if you pay attention to stock art for popular cartoons as much as I do, you can definitely notice that. But overall, it's the front of the case looks pretty nice anyways. It's just the minor little quirks. Alrighty, so here is the spine. Hold on, let me get the camera to focus. The spine has the Paramount logo, a character profile of Tommy, the old Nickelodeon logo, the same airplane version that's on the front cover, the Rugrats logo, the Trilogy Movie Collection, Klasky Chupo's logo, the newer Nickelodeon logo. I never thought I'd see the old and new Nickelodeon logos sharing a spine like this together. Close captioning icon, and a DVD icon. pretty standard stuff, minus the whole dual Nickelodeon logos appearing on the spine, but it's still nice. Alright, here's the back. It gives a brief description of each movie, as well as a listing of all the special features. You can pause here if you want to read all the information that's listed here. Alright, now that I've taken a look at the actual package, like the front of it, let's open it up and see what we got inside. Okay. So, this is what we got inside. Unfortunately, all the discs that are included here, which are plain gray disc, which is unfortunate because all three of these movies' original DVD releases, I mean, these are the same DVD releases, just with different disc labels. They used to have full color artwork on them. So it's unfortunate that the labels have been changed to make the disc look much more boring looking. But thankfully, this DVD set, just like I predicted, is not in an EcoBox case. That is a relief. For some weird reason, Rugrats Go Wild's disc is first. So here is that disc. I'm gonna take it out so you can see the top of it a little bit better. Here is the disc for the original Rugrats movie. And finally, here is the disc for Rugrats in Paris. I'll have to rearrange the disc after I'm done filming and uploading this unboxing. As for the actual review, I would give this DVD set a 4.5 out of 5. These movies are pretty enjoyable, even if they're from an era of Rugrats that isn't as good as the golden age of the show. And there are some pretty neat special features on the disc for Rugrats in Paris and Rugrats Go Wild, including music videos, featurettes, and deleted scenes. So if you like special features, those two movies have some. But the Rugrats movie is pretty bare bones when it comes to special features. The only two extras that are on that movie's DVD are the film's theatrical trailer and a cat dog episode called Winslow's Documentary, or it's listed on the back of the package as Winslow's Documentary, but the actual episode is named Winslow's Home Movies. I don't know why they listed it incorrectly on the back of the package, but that's just how it is. So, yeah. So, it's a pretty satisfying collection with one major flaw, which is why I didn't give this a 5 out of 5. The original Rugrats movie is in non-anamorphic widescreen. So for those of you who aren't videophiles like I and some other major YouTubers are, let me give you a brief rundown. Basically, while the movie can be watched in widescreen, as well as pan and scan, the Rugrats movie and Rugrats Go Wild are available to watch in both widescreen and cropped 4:3. But Rugrats in Paris is only in widescreen, since when it first came out on DVD, Paramount gave the movie separate releases with the same special features in both widescreen and 4:3. So they just took the widescreen disc, since widescreen is the norm nowadays. So basically, if you watch the original Rugrats movie in widescreen on this DVD, it's the 16 by 9 frame inside a 4 by 3 display. So black bars are going to appear on all four sides of the picture if you're watching the movie on a widescreen TV. I don't know why Paramount decided not to fix this for this 2017 re-release of the movie, but that's just how it goes. I mean, it makes sense for the original release of the DVD, since it came out in 1999 when widescreen TVs weren't as common as they are now, and therefore there was less of an incentive to give widescreen movies an anamorphic transfer on their DVD releases at that time. But these DVD releases, Paramount did not change a single thing about any of the stuff that are on each of these three movies' disc, besides, changing the label art. So, why they spent money on removing the original label art and replacing it with more boring looking label art, but decided not to put money into giving the original movie a proper anamorphic widescreen transfer on newer DVD releases, or give that movie a Blu-ray release for that matter, I have no idea. But overall, it's a pretty satisfying collection, minus the whole non-anamorphic transfer thing. I got it at Walmart for $5, and you can probably find it for even cheaper at other places. So I definitely recommend getting this if you're a fan of the Rugrats franchise. So, that's it. If you like this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. Make sure to comment on the video if you want to. And if you're new to this channel, please be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell to get notified about each of my upcoming exciting new videos. Alright, until next time, this is Jason the Cartoon Fan signing off.